Well, welcome back to another video. Just finished my morning cuppa and realised I've got maintenance to do. A couple of days ago, I went away for a while. I got a call at about 2 o'clock in the morning from the missus who said I smell electronic burning. We couldn't figure out anything. I came home to find that my UPS was in power down mode. I've since fired it up and noticed that it's not getting to any more than about 50% charge. There were a few power spikes and everything. I suggest that maybe we've had a power spike and one of the batteries in here has popped. Unfortunately, it's the problem we have with this is I had a little memory blank there. It happens this early in the morning. I have to disconnect everything here, shut down my entire system, all the cameras, everything like that. Most of it runs through that UPS. So we're going to have to do that fairly early this morning before everybody gets up and wants internet, because we share internet with the neighbours. Yeah, let's get this all shut down and worked out. Okay, so we have 12 volt power. We've got things disconnected, and our modem is on and over to battery, which runs off the solar power or solar charge batteries that are in the hallway cupboard. We have bypassed the UPS over here temporarily with all this junk. Let's get this open and test some batteries. I do have one good battery I can probably put in, and that will get it working until I can buy a couple more batteries for it. Okay, we're on the desk. Let's pull some connections off here. I'll pull some screws out. My language, definitely not much English good today. Does that make sense? I don't know, because I don't think it did. Yeah, what interests me, this is still saying it's in power down mode, even though it's like, yeah, when I try and fire this up, it doesn't want to do it. So yeah, something's not right. I think the voltage is too low. We have the cover off. Now, you do need to be careful of this. You can have some kind of dangerous power levels in here. When I first got this, I did take this off and I put 9 amp hour batteries in here, because traditionally they used to have 7 amp hours. I found out this one actually had 9 amp hour batteries in it. So we're going to check the individual cell voltages here. This is an insulated screwdriver, by the way, not completely insulated anymore. Let's find a multimeter. Okay, we're going to take our multimeter here in the 20 volt range. We're going to carefully try not to short the probes to the chassis, because that might create fireworks, which I have done before. So that's 11.9 volts. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This one is at 12 volts. So these batteries seem to be okay. I wonder what's going on with this. The other issue you can have when you disconnect and reconnect batteries, if things are not charged up, you can have a bit of fireworks, which I've had before. So some people do suggest pre-charging things with a resistor. But for the moment, I'm just going to have an inspect here, see if I can see anything visually wrong before I do anything. I can't see anything crazy or blown or anything like that with it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to remove the mains fuse for a start. Let's pull that out, make sure that's okay. And then what we might do is pull one of these and disconnect the power and reconnect the power. And I'm going to put glasses on for this. There we go. Right, that had a bit of a zap moment and the relay dropped. I've put my glasses on because when we do this it may zap. I'll try to be quick about that. Check all of that. Alright, it's in power down. Let's see what happens here if we try and turn it on. I think we've got to push and hold for this. I did try briefly. Oh, we may need to put the fuse back in. Something I'm noticing here, there looks to be some dried resin on this foot down here. Possibly the same resin that's inside the transformer housing here. Maybe that's got very hot at some point and that resin's leaked out. That could explain that electronic smell. Why that would have got so hot is a bit beyond me, because we only run this at about 30% capacity most of the time. Alright, so I've unlinked both batteries and let them sit for a few minutes, and they're sitting at 11.9 volts. That tells me they should be sitting quite a bit higher than that, considering it spent 2 days on charge. I'd say batteries are probably not great. I've only got one good spare. I did have 2 spares. I just don't know where the other one is. I'll have to go and find it and probably charge them up. Alright, so I had a scrounge around my shed. Found 2 batteries here. They are different brands. That one is at 3.5 volts. That is got a big X. That is definitely dead. I used to have 2 of these somewhere, and I'm not sure where the other one went. And these were brand new off memory. So this one is sitting at, and has been sitting for a while, it's sitting at 12.5 volts. It's been there a while. This one's freshly off charge technically, and it's at 10.2 volts. Yeah. Okay, so these are definitely dropping in voltage by the minute that they're sitting here. So these batteries are 100% dead. Alright, so I went to see my local J-car shop. They haven't got batteries in yet, so I've got a double adapter. We will just bypass the UPS for now. I have another smaller UPS that will do to keep some essential stuff alive. We'll look at that in a minute. These batteries have been sitting for a little while now. Let's see what the voltage dropped to. There's a weird voltage fluctuation there. They're 11.8, so yeah, they should not be dropping to that. This one's 11.9. Yeah, they shouldn't be dropping down to that when they're apparently not charged. So for the moment, this is not being effectual as a UPS, so we're just going to leave it out. We'll put the little one in, and we will pick this video up when the batteries arrive sometime next week.
3 weeks later.
Okay, we're back to this, and a couple of weeks have passed, and we have a couple of new batteries arrive. These are 9 amp hours. Should be pretty much the same as what's in here. Fun little tip: when you're undoing these screws, just hang it half off the desk and put your screwdriver underneath here. Makes it a whole lot easier to get these screws out without the batteries getting loose and short-circuiting on things. Okay, so we've got these 4 screws undone. We need to undo these 2 and pick this up, and this should unhook out of that end. You've got to be careful of these cables. Normally I would unplug the transformer, but I think we can lift it up just enough to get the batteries out without that. We'll see how we go. Alright, so definitely not enough slack to lift this up, so we will have to unplug things. Fortunately, these connectors really only go in one way, and they're keyed, so we should be alright. Let's unplug transformer here. They give us enough room to lift up. Probably not quite enough. Alright, there's one lead. Here's the other one off the surge protector. That one's got to unplug. That gives me enough room now. We might be able to finagle these batteries out. We'll see off camera, we'll see, and then I'll explain how we worked it out. Alright, so irritatingly, I'm going to have to take these 2 mains leads off. I've marked where the blue goes. That's important. And these are the bits that usually pop if you get things wrong too. Now, it is worth noting that when this thing is active and generating mains power, these 2 sides here, these heat sinks, are live. If you put your hand across them, you can electrify yourself pretty dangerously. So yeah, definitely try not to run these things unless you've either got an RCD or some know-how, or generally just put the cover back on before you run them. Don't go sticking your fingers in there. Just not a good idea. Okay, I've got things reassembled. I remember to put the lock washers on them. Everything's pretty good. So what are our new battery volts at? Let's have a look here. If I can get to them. 12.8. Good. And I'm not making contact properly. Here we go. 12.8. Very close. Alright, it does help if they're balanced. Okay, we've got mains power and a mains lead. Let's see what happens. Can we turn you on? I'm hearing it beep, but really quietly. Maybe I took the fuse out. I guess we'll find out. Right, so the fuse is indeed in. Let's just hold this button in for a little while. Maybe I'm not holding it in long enough. Right, so I noticed when I plug it in, it does try and fire up. For a brief moment it does try. And the beeper is very quiet. That suggests maybe something's not quite plugged in properly, or maybe something's knackered with the control circuit. Alright, so something's not right, and that beep telling me, being very quiet, tells me something's potentially not getting enough voltage. So let's go continuity check mode. I'm going to check these two fuses on the top here. Right, mains fuse. Mains fuse is good, although my probes are a bit difficult. Right, let me check 24 volt side of things. We're 25.3. That's all right. So something's wrong with the circuit yet again. Right, so something I noticed, if I tap the relays here, this one here I think clicks. We get a slight beep out of it when it attempts to power up. It won't do that again if I push that button until I tap the relays and pop them up again. There we go. So maybe a stuck relay, maybe a stuck polyfuse. I need to see if there's a warranty on these things.
One eternity later.
Alright, we have another delivery arrived. This one's a warranty return. So we have a 1500 VA UPS. My last one we got in a month before its warranty and it died. So this is a warranty replacement. So we're going to unpack this and put it back together and put it in service right away because we could really use it. Okay, well that's the new one installed and it's working. That's a nice easy way of fixing the problem. But the second I pulled the plug, my neighbors are like, the internet's down. And so I had to pause and explain that you need to wait more than 30 seconds before you call me about that. But anyway, they're happy, internet's back up again, UPS is working. We can end this video, and yeah, it's nice that they warranted the UPS, but it's sad that it failed that way. And this I think is going to be number 4 that I've had. The first one was a gift, or actually it was deceased estate, so almost like inheritance. So and anyway, we'll see you in the next one, and hope it's something a bit more interesting than UPS batteries.